for the starting job for the Washington football team.
That last drive we saw from Taylor Heinicke is the type of drive that can instill a confidence and a love and respect in that locker room, right? We were talking up here. I had some friends that were talking to me before the game saying, they got to bring in somebody else. Taylor Heinicke's not the answer. But I said, guys, just wait. Just wait and watch. Taylor Heinicke, he's smart, he's accurate, he's dependable, he makes good decisions, and he knows how to make plays when the game counts. That's exactly what we saw tonight. I'm glad the Washington football team didn't listen to those friends of mine.
I know, you're right. Giants fans, they have to be feeling sick right now after watching what just happened, because they had this game won until the end there. And there was multiple miscues throughout this game.
Joe Judge must be going crazy.
He's a special teams coordinator.
Exactly. And he loses this on his special teams like that. So that runs them crazy. And on a mistake like being offsides after they missed that field goal. I'm telling you, man, this is the kind of loss that sticks with you. It'll take something to get this out of there.
They had 4 pre-snap penalties in the last little bit in the fourth quarter, including on special teams. You don't need that on special teams when they're trying to kick a long field goal. Just line up. When the ball gets snapped, you rush, try to get your hands in there, but don't do anything stupid to lose the game and give a kicker a second chance at redemption.
Being a special teams player myself, special teams coach, always said nothing ever comes of anything good when you do a special teams play twice.
Ooh.
And when that happens,
I think my father told me that when I was in the crib too.
But not only that, I mean, when you go back throughout this game, there were time after time where the Giants just had a massive mistake, like Sterling Shepard dropping that would-be touchdown in the end zone.
That wasn't
Darius Slayton.
No, that wasn't. Shepard would have caught that.
You're right. Slayton.
That was Slayton that was catching that. He didn't have a chance to catch that.
He did not slay that.
Come on, Colleen. Shep put on a great day out.
He did. No, I should take that heat here. You're right. I'm sorry to Sterling Shepard.
He played great tonight. But Slayton, they did let that ball drop that touchdown. They're going to look back on and think about for a long time, like this right here, like, oh my God.
You know what they're going to say? Kadarius Toney.
We got to get him ready.
Let's get him ready.
Yeah, they're going to wish they had that back.
And they couldn't get Saquon Barkley going tonight. He had the one 41-yard run, I think, at the beginning that he ran out of bounds. And then after that, he averaged less than 2 yards per carry. So all of these things really made up for the Giants' loss tonight.
We were really hoping to see Saquon Barkley bounce back from so-so performance on limited touches last week, but he just still doesn't look like he's comfortable running the football. When he gets the ball, he's a little bit tentative. He doesn't really know where the hole is. He doesn't hit it with that explosiveness that we're used to seeing. You talked about that long run, Colleen. We're thinking big boy like Saquon Barkley, he's going to run over the DB when he gets there towards the sideline. No, he runs out of bounds. He looked a little bit unsure of himself. You can tell that he's definitely thinking about that knee right now, and he is not ready and fully healthy in his mind. Knee may be 100%, mind is not 100%.
And you know what that falls into? I hate to say it, that falls into when you talk about these young guys now, just in football, not playing in the preseason. You don't just turn it on all of a sudden during the season. It doesn't happen like that.
Giants offensive line a little bit credit. They did pretty good at protecting Daniel Jones.
You hear what the crowd is asking for? Heinicke. We'll see if we can bring him out for you guys coming up. What a throw here. The touchdown to Ricky Seals-Jones. His first catch with Washington is a touchdown.
That's a funny pronunciation of Cam Newton.
Wow.
You are watching the Mercedes-Benz post-game show. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Over the
Time for the star of the game, presented by Mercedes EQ, and it is that man right there, Taylor Heinicke. 2 touchdowns tonight, and what a night it was for him. The fans behind me, they're chanting for him, and guys, don't worry, we will deliver on that because he is standing by with us right now. Taylor, congratulations on the win. I'm sure you can hear these fans chanting your name. How does that feel, by the way?
Yeah, it's pretty wild, just thinking back about, last year at this time I was at home taking classes. So, it's an unbelievable journey, and, this is a great way to start off.
On that interception right at the end of the game, throwing the ball to Terry McLaurin, you went to the sideline and slammed your helmet down. What was going through your mind in that moment?
Yeah, it was very frustrating. Defense came up big, and we had a chance to, close them out there, and, throwing a pick is not what you want to do. So a lot of guys came up to me, so we got one more chance to do it, and fortunately we did. Defense came up, and we went down and scored.
Taylor, don't worry about Joe, man. You just won the game. Tell him to give you a few more questions before he gets to the bad stuff. Like questions like...
That was the good stuff. That was him saying, I knew I was going to have a chance to come back and lead this team to victory. I had it in my mind. I'll say it for you.
Hey, talk to me about the relationship you have with Terry McLaurin. I mean, you came in the game and you started finding him right away. Tell everybody the kind of receiver Scary Terry is.
Yeah, he's got a lot of speed. He catches the ball. He makes a lot of good plays, and you see it when the ball's in his hands, he can make things happen. So very quarterback friendly, and obviously it's an emphasis for us to get him the ball. And again, he makes some good things happen.
Hey, Taylor, Steve Smith here. Congratulations on the win. Last week you stepped in the middle of the game. How do you prepare yourself mentally, knowing you were the starter for this week?
Yeah, even as backup, I prepared every week like it was a good starter because, again, the NFL is crazy. Any given moment you can be in there. So last week I was prepared. This week on a short week, we try to, fit it in. But I think we had a good game plan, and I think we executed pretty well.
Taylor, Steve opened the door. So I gotta go in the door as an interviewer here. Do you believe, with the job that you've done here tonight,
great
that
question.
you have earned the right to start at quarterback for the Washington football team the rest of the year?
I do, and I have confidence that I can do it. So if those guys in the locker room and the facility believe in me, that's all that matters. And I think they do. So let's try to keep this ball rolling.
I love this guy. I love what he has to say. And when you were at Old Dominion, you were taking math classes. I mean, did you ever think to yourself that you would be leading a game-winning drive here on Thursday Night Football in prime time, or playing against Tom Brady in the playoffs for that matter as well?
No, I never thought it was going to happen, but every night when I went to bed, I dreamt of it. Just knowing that if I had the opportunity in my mind, I was successful in those dreams. I was successful when I was thinking about it. So, when the time came, it wasn't new to me. So, again, I'm just happy to be here, happy to play football again, and happy to get a win.
Taylor, you go ahead, and now you're the guy. As you said, you want that opportunity. What do you need to do personally? You know your game. You know what you need to improve on. You know what you did excellent. What do you need to improve on to keep this starting job, not just week to week, but year to year?
Just keep the ball in our possession, no turnovers. Keep giving the ball to those playmakers, letting them do their thing. And if you keep moving the ball, get first downs, that leads to points. And the more points you get, the better chance you get to score, and the better chance you get to win. So that's the biggest thing I'm really focused on.
Taylor, one of the things that I've noticed when you came in the game last week, you could see there's kind of a spark that this team takes on when you come in the game. Even watching, you see a lot of the guys standing up at the sideline, watching you. They believe in you. Do you feel that when you're on the field from the rest of your guys? And do they ever tell you anything? Do they tell you how much they believe in you?
Yeah, it means a lot, and I can feel the energy. They all made it know that they're behind me. They believe in me. So again, it gives me a lot of confidence, and it lets me go out there and play pretty loose. So it means a lot that those guys in the facility, those guys in the locker room believe in me, and that's all I can ask for.
How far can this team go, Taylor?
Shoot, you look at every position. We got dudes at every single position, and I think the only thing that can beat us is ourselves. So I think we can go as far as we want to go.
Taylor, before we wrap things up here, just one quick last question. What did you get Scary Terry for his birthday, since it was yesterday? Was it all of these catches?
Yeah, that's right. I told him I was going to feed him, and he came up big today. So, great, happy birthday for him. He gets to have the whole weekend off, and we'll enjoy it.
And trust me, that's the greatest gift you can give him, buddy. He'll turn that into some cash later. Don't sweat it. Just keep doing that.
Fantastic job tonight, Taylor. Go enjoy it. Get in that locker room. Go celebrate. You guys earned it. Fantastic work by the entire Washington football team. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Taylor Heineke there, coming in strong, coming in confident as well. Irv, I like that you asked that question about him earning the to be here the rest of the season as the starter, and as he should. What did you see from him tonight? Do you believe that he should be the starter here this year?
Everything I saw tonight, and I always tell you guys, I talk about it all the time. His team has hope when he was on the football field. They watched it last year when he played the champions very close. He had over 300 yards in that game. He played well in that game. And right here tonight, he came back in and solidified it. Steve, we talked about it in the pregame. You know, after he has a whole full week of practice, and the game plan fits his skill set, not someone else's skill set.
A full practice.
A short week, but still they curtail the game plan for his skill set, and you saw the results. I'm happy for him.
What I think is the most important part with this transition, or if it is, you have to give him a full season to take this roller coaster. He's going to have some great games like this where he can navigate a game-winning drive. He's also going to have some times where you don't get a team that gives you penalties to come back and have the game-winning field goal. Allowing him to make the mistakes, to grow, to take some adversity and know how to handle it. If they don't allow him to do that, you will sell him short, but you have to be able to do that. If we're talking about draft capital, you're talking about how good that defense is, you got air quotes, have a quarterback now. Let him grow up before our eyes on the football field and see what he can do.
I think the big thing for the Washington football team was they were able to watch Taylor Heineke grow in their minds, because, you know, he's a confident guy. You can see he believes in himself, but in the minds of the coaches and the guys in that locker room, he was kind of the guy that was the placeholder till Ryan Fitzpatrick came back. Correct. He was going to be conservative, not turn the football over, but what I think he proved to them is he can be the playmaker too. Not this playmaker, but he can be the guy that if they're down, they need a score in the fourth quarter, can lead this team on a long drive down the field and throw the ball accurately on time, on the money, where it needs to go. And he can be that guy at the quarterback position that you need in the NFL if you want to be a playoff and a championship contending team.
I joke with you, but seriously, when you ask him that question about making that mistake and throwing that interception, going on the sideline, slamming his helmet, it's not the mistake. Is what do you do after the mistake?
And what he did after
you the respect
was awesome
of those guys on the sideline. And that's what those guys will see. Oh, you made the mistake, but you came back and got the win. That earns confidence in your team.
And just his journey in general, being undrafted, being a backup in the XFL, being at Old Dominion, taking applied mathematics. I mean, well, what even is that? I don't know. So he has come out here and really proved a lot of people wrong. And I know that the people behind us here are very, very happy about that as this Washington team takes the win by 30-29. A huge game in the NFC East. The Giants falling now to 0-2.
Get your game day started Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern with NFL Game Day Morning. With Dallas in LA for a showdown with the Chargers and our beautiful new studio just a stone's throw away from SoFi Stadium, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones stops by to hang with his old pal, the Playmaker. And after a wild loss in Las Vegas, Lamar Jackson looks to conquer his KC kryptonite and avoid an 0-2 start. But first, he's heading to Warner's Corner. And speaking of the Raiders, their superstar tight end Darren Waller sits down with our old pal Rod Woodson in the latest installment of NFL Generations.
Your mindset is what makes you different.
All that and more on NFL Game Day Morning, Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Cheating, but more trying.
Yes, BS call.
That's right, third quarter.
Offensive lineman, come on.
We got Daniel Jones throwing left to Darius Slayton for the 33-yard touchdown, Joe.
Yeah, it was great to see Daniel Jones taking some shots down the field. He looked confident, aggressive, and he had turnover-free day, which is not something we've seen from Daniel Jones in the past. A lot of good progress for that quarterback. A lot for the Giants to build on.
That was a great throw there.
This is where everything sort of fell apart. In the fourth quarter, Daniel Jones throws deep to Darius Slayton. Should have caught that easy touchdown.
Easy touchdown. Yeah. You have Slayton right there. He has the opportunity to be a superhero. Instead, he's a sidekick.
Does not work out well for him there. So
you have to make that play. I don't care if you just hit that ball, tap it back to you if it's too far out in front of you, but you have to make that play right there if you're a wide receiver.
The slow-mo makes it look even worse, too. Next Washington possession here. Heineke deep. This is the first time he really started pushing the ball down the field to J.D. McKissick. First and 10 there for the Giants at the 19. Very next play, Heineke hits Ricky Seals-Jones in the right corner of the end zone for the 19-yard touchdown. Ricky Seals-Jones' first catch with Washington is a touchdown.
And that was a great throw, too, right there, because if Ricky Seals-Jones didn't get that ball goes out of bounds. That's great placement. Not good placement, great placement by Heineke.
Now, Joe, I want you to watch this here. Heineke throws deep for Terry McLaurin, but it's intercepted by James Bradbury.
Yeah, him and the DB just kind of run into each other. Heineke's thrown to a spot. He's not expecting James Bradbury to be there. Bradbury jumps the route, makes a nice play on it. Heineke going to the sideline, obviously frustrated because he feels like he made a pretty good throw, but he's going to get a chance.
That's right.
A little bit.
This is where it seemed like things were going to go well here for the Giants. Graham Gano, the 35-yard kick is good. So the Giants lead 29-27. Next Washington possession, Heineke hits Logan Thomas for a 9-yard gain. Okay,
here's the measure of a player, Colleen, when you throw that interception, and now can you come back?
Well, what about this? Heineke here to Adam Humphries for the 7-yard gain. Okay, Chase Young is happy about it. Let's go. Dustin Hopkins coming in for the 48-yard field goal. It's no good. But wait, it is actually good for Washington because, come on, Dexter Lawrence, offsides.
That's tragic.
That cannot happen. So Hopkins gets another shot here. He makes it. Washington wins 30-29, and Joe Judge not happy after the game about the 11 penalties for his team.
Well, we have to address it and just make sure that we keep putting players in position to prepare them properly and make sure we can work it and execute it the right way when it comes up right there. Obviously, something we don't want to have, something that's not acceptable. But, look, we're not going to turn around and put this game on any one player or one play. There's enough things we can clean up as a team. We can play better going forward. So we're not going to go ahead and isolate one incident and say that's the difference in the game right there. So we got to make sure we do a lot of things better for 60 minutes.
So a lot of problems here for the Giants tonight. It looked like they really had this one in the bag. A lot of the Giants fans just going crazy here. And then, of course, the offsides penalty really changed the complexion of this game. And it wasn't just that penalty. That was obviously the most glaring one. But, Joe, they just looked so undisciplined out there at times.
Yeah, as a head coach, you can live with penalties that are made when guys are going 100 miles an hour, they're going full speed, and they're aggressive penalties, right? But as a head coach, especially a head coach like Joe Judge, who prides himself about being old school and disciplined from the Patriots tree, like when you have pre-snap penalties, those are inexcusable. And to have as many pre-snap penalties as they had down the stretch in the fourth quarter, when the game was on the line, they had back-to-back false starts on their offensive line. It ended up not hurting him because even though they had to back up the field goal kicker, he still made it a long field goal. But those are the type of things you can't have in critical moments. It's those times in the game where the inexperience and the lack of focus are really shining through, and that's something the Giants have to get cleaned up if they want to win, because they're not good enough talent-wise from top to bottom to be able to win games making mistakes down the stretch like maybe a Kansas City Chiefs team could, or a team that's going to be as explosive on offense where you're scoring 70-yard touchdowns. The Giants just don't have that right now. They need to be crisp, they need to be clean, and they need to play turnover and penalty-free football.
Especially in these close games. And this game was close all the way around. You know, you saw how close it was on the scoreboard. Time of possession, 31-28.
Herb, the largest lead was 7 points at the very beginning.
Exactly. This game was so tight, so close all around. You cannot give up those easy penalties. And the Giants did. And Washington came away with a much-needed victory.
One of the things that's very interesting, and I think they have to address it, is Saquon Barkley really the guy right now that they can depend on? He's physically fit, but psychologically, is he ready to take that step forward to carry the workload? You know what he brings to the table. You know what kind of spark plug he has been in the past. How long will it take him to get back to the Saquon Barkley that can carry the workload and become that dynamic player that we have seen him be prior to the injury?
And Joe, I think too that offensive line has some issues because they could not protect Daniel Jones tonight. He was sacked 4 times. There was the injury, but Andrew Thomas, once again, there were some liabilities up there.
Yeah, the offensive line for the Giants, they really struggled in the first half. They gave up several sacks, more than 10 hits in the first half, but they tightened it up in the second half. And I think you saw Daniel Jones play a lot better. All of a sudden, he was getting the protection. Yeah. He was throwing the football down the field. He was running the ball because he was the best running back tonight. To your point about Saquon Barkley, he just doesn't look comfortable yet, but the Giants are in a little bit of a catch-22, right? We know what he can be when he's fully healthy, mentally and physically, but when you're coming back from an ACL injury like Irv and I have done, the only way you get that confidence and you become 100% mentally is by going out and taking the hits. And since he didn't take them in preseason, he's taking them now during the season. So the question for the Giants is, how long can we just keep giving him the football and allow him to try to knock that rust off and build that confidence on game day? Because you can't do it during the week anymore. Like, your time to build that confidence and feel good about the knee as a player in training camp is gone. So how much do you want to run Daniel Jones, who's pretty much the entire Giants offense right now because they can't run the football? That's a tough question because you don't want him to get hurt running the football.
He played a pretty strong game, though, Daniel Jones. He didn't turn the ball over.
And that's what they have to do. They were smart. Listen, it's not just that that offensive line is shuffled and we're bringing people in and out, and they lost some more guys tonight. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they have more backups. They reshuffled line right in the middle of the game to bring guys in. It's not just that. It's you have to, those guys are stacking the line of scrimmage to stop Saquon. They're trying to force Daniel Jones to beat them. And Coach Garrett did a good job at using not just his arms, but also not just his arm, but also his leg to try to get this victory for the New York Giants.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones, he was able to move with his legs. His mobility was on display as well tonight. Right. Exactly. But unfortunately for the Giants, they now start the season 0-2 for the 5th straight year. It was Taylor Heineke and this Washington football team that came out on top 30-29 on Thursday Night Football. Congratulations to Tay Guru on winning tonight's NFL knockout contest and a VIP trip for 2 to Super Bowl 56 in LA. You can enter next week's free NFL knockout contest now, where we will give away another VIP trip to Super Bowl 56. That's huge. Answer 15 questions about next week's Panthers-Texans game. For your chance to win, visit NFL.com/knockout to play free right now. What a night it was for this Washington football team, and Terry McLaurin, his touchdown right there, 11 for 107 tonight. Huge for him, and here he is with Christina Pink.
Terry, you guys win this one in dramatic fashion for your first W of the season. Back and forth battle down the stretch. Just tell me what was going through your mind as the clock and the seconds started to tick away on that game-winning field goal.
Yeah, what a game. What an atmosphere. That was a complete team win. Even when we had a turnover late, we knew we had a chance to get the ball back, and the defense did a great job holding them to 3. And we knew it was going to be a back-and-forth battle with these guys. They're a great opponent, but it feels good to get back in the win column, especially in the division. And you know, we haven't beat these guys in a while, so it feels good.
Yeah, the energy was crazy tonight. Your energy coming into this game. Whenever I asked you about your quarterback, you were the hype man. So what did you see from Taylor Heineke tonight?
Dude's a baller, man. You can't say enough about number 4. He comes prepared every time his moment is there. He makes the plays. He doesn't get too high. He doesn't get too low, and he leads us. He did a great job coming in, orchestrating the offense, running great tempo, making great passes. I mean, to have the courage to throw that in the back of the end zone to Ricky with a game on the line, that's all you can ask for a quarterback coming in, trying to get us a win. So hats off to Taylor for keep fighting and giving us a chance, and I'm glad he's on our team.
The quarterbacks continue to change, but your production has been so consistent. How do you continue to do it? 11 catches tonight, over 100 yards.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just thank God to be out here playing the game that I love with my teammates. They trust me to come out here and make plays, and I just want to do that as a leader and a captain, and I knew I would get some opportunities today, and I just wanted to come down with them. Going against James Bradbury all game, I wanted to prepare, and he's a great corner, so just having the opportunities I did to make plays, you know, shout out to Coach Turner calling a great game. Taylor put the ball where it needed to be. O-line held up great. I mean, the receivers are running hard all night, so it's not just me, but it feels good to be able to make plays and come through for your team.
What a battle. Thanks, Terry.
Thank
Congratulations.
you so much. Yes, sir. Hi, Mom.
Oh, how sweet. Terry McLaurin there. The touchdown from his 5th different quarterback in his career. Pretty wild here because he's had a young career. So on the other side, we're going to talk about some of these issues that the Giants had. There were a lot of them. That's coming up straight ahead.
Thank you for watching the Mercedes-Benz post-game show. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.